It is important for a designer to know how customizable the Splash CMS is. Sure, you can make easy edits to your colors and fonts, but what if you want to do more, like revise the overall layout of your event page? What if you need things reordered, replaced, or restyled? The Layout tab is your sandbox, so feel free to go nuts. First, let's say you find that the naming conventions of blocks and elements in Splash are not as specific as you'd prefer them to be. Well, to rename a block or element, click into the Layout tab. Then, simply click into the block or element's title and begin typing to rename it. This can become especially handy when you have multiple cover blocks or speaker blocks on one event page and need to keep track of which one is which. The next thing you may want to do is rearrange the blocks on page. To pull this off, inside the Layout tab, click and hold on a block you'd like to reorder and then drag it to a new location. You can quickly change the dynamic of a page with this simple move. Elements can also be arranged inside of a block in the same way. Click into a block to view the layout tree of the block's makeup, and then click and drag elements around to reorder them. But be careful, there's a reason certain elements are housed inside of certain containers, so experiment with caution. What if you want to get rid of a block or element on page? How would you do that? Well, you could do that by hovering your mouse on page to populate the Hide Show icon as well as the Delete icon. But it's not always the best practice to rely on on-page UX to execute the moves you want. Instead, let's click into the block via the Layout tab. As you can see, there are 5 options you have available to you in the bottom navigation of the block. Save allows you to save an entire block or element into your own personal archive forever. So, if you create an amazing block on one event page and want to use that same block on a future event, regardless if you're using the same theme or not, you could click Save here and then add it to any page via the Custom Blocks folder. Since this is a fairly advanced feature, we have saved that lesson for part 2. If you're curious now, we also have a great Help Center article on the topic. Just navigate to Support and enter the search term Saving Blocks and Elements. The next option available to you is Clone. This will duplicate the entire block on page. Again, you can also clone elements and blocks directly on page by hovering over your component and clicking the same icon on screen. The third option is Hide Show. Hide Show allows designers to temporarily elect to not display content on their event page without committing them to completely deleting the content altogether. To hide a block, click into the Layout tab. Click into the block you wish to hide and click on the Hide Show eye icon on the bottom navigation. To reveal the block again, find the block inside the layout tree and click the eye icon next to the block's name to reveal it again. When a block or element is hidden on the page, no one that is visiting the page will see it, but it also allows the designer to hold on to it instead of deleting it entirely. Because remember, Splash CMS does not have an edit undo feature, so deletion is fairly final. If they do want to delete it entirely, the fourth option of the navigation is the red trash can button, otherwise known as delete. Clicking this button pops a modal asking the designer to confirm the deletion, and once they do, the block has been removed entirely from the page. But remember, if you're about to delete something from the page, but you're not sure about it, navigate back to your backups and create a new one first. This will provide you with a safety net to fall back on if you need to restore back in time and calm your nerves a little bit.